Officer Alex Murphy. You are listening to Nerd Radio on RIFF2. Stay out of trouble.
I'd buy that for $1.
Welcome back to Nerd Radio. Make sure you're following us on our social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitter at NerdRadio101. You can also, of course, check us out every Wednesday afternoon, recording the show live from the Checkpoint XP studios, twitch.tv/CheckpointXP. See, you didn't even have
Nailed
to do it. Yeah.
I was ready. He's about to drop the ball. I'll be there to pick it up and put it back. He's got it.
I got it.
Nailed it like a radio pro.
So this last weekend was simultaneously Summer Game Fest and also E3, essentially. This is where they reveal all the stuff that you can look forward to this year. Of course, ahead of E3, people had some pretty big wants. We expected to see maybe like a Nintendo Switch Pro at E3.
Yeah, did we see a Nintendo Switch Pro?
Nope.
No Pro?
Nope. No Nintendo Switch Pro.
I saw some Metroid news, some sort of a new type of Metroid game.
Yeah, let's go back to front. So we'll start with the Nintendo stuff, because honestly, I watched the Nintendo thing yesterday. So we recorded on Wednesday. It was on Tuesday. It was about 40 minutes. And out of all the stuff that was announced over the weekend, Nintendo had the most stuff that I'm like, yeah, that looks interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might want to check that out. That's cool. Like,
so what's the number one thing that Nintendo showed that you were like, I am all in, baby. Take my money.
This is so niche, and it's so dumb, and it's so me. So back in the mid to late 80s, there were no Game Boys. So if you wanted, no, Nintendo, not Sega.
I just listen. There's a video that's every console opening, so it's just gonna roll.
Oh, all right. So back in the late 80s, before there were Game Boys, Nintendo had these things called Game & Watch, which were like...
Yes! I had a Double Dragon one.
Yeah, just like the Tiger Electronics stuff. They worked just like that, and they would have like little Mario games or stuff like that. Last year, for the Super Mario anniversary, they released a Game & Watch with the NES Super Mario Brothers on it. And you could just play it on this little Game & Watch thing. And then it has a little watch function on it too. For this year, for the anniversary of Legend of Zelda, they're releasing a new one, and it's got both of the Nintendo Zelda games, Zelda 1 and 2, and
Zelda and that Link?
And Adventure of Link.
Okay.
And then it's got the Game Boy Link's Awakening, the black and white Link's Awakening on Game Boy on there as well. And something about it having all three of them on there really makes me like, oh man, I love the original Zelda.
The trifecta.
I'm one of the few
the Triforce. The trifecta for the Triforce. Must be on Chuck Bean's wrist.
I'm one of the few that actually enjoys the Adventure of Link. Most people are
I couldn't understand that one. Now, that's a game. Is it available on the Switch? Like,
yes.
If you had the Nintendo thing. So that's a game I would consider going back and playing.
Yep.
If I knew what to do. I actually watched. So like that Nightshade game that I talked about was probably last year at this point.
Right.
Starting to play. That's one I want to watch videos on YouTube on. And learn how to at least get the ball rolling.
To see what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, because I never understood what the hell I'm supposed to do in the Adventures of Link.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any kid I ever hung out with knew. Everybody had the game, but nobody knew what to do in it.
That's why you had to have a subscription to Nintendo Power. Back in the day, they'd have the maps and everything. They'd tell you what you're supposed to get, where you're supposed to go.
I didn't get my subscription until the first issue of Nintendo Power with Hulk Hogan dropping the leg on some opponent. So I was a little ways behind my Nintendo
the Super Nintendo era.
Yeah, Super Nintendo era for sure.
I thought Zelda 2 was fun because it had kind of a role-playing game element. Like every creature that you killed, a little number would pop up and you got experience points.
Oh.
And then eventually you could spend those experience points to increase your life meter or your magic meter or make your sword do more damage.
Okay.
And I figured out a cheat. I think it was actually in a GamePro magazine, but there's a swamp area where...
So you figured out, you read about it.
Yeah.
I figured out this cheat. Actually, it was in a GamePro magazine.
So there's this swamp area where these birds will come down from one side of the screen and then come at you.
Okay.
So if you take Link and you put him on either side of the screen and you had one of those big NES Advantage controllers with the big buttons and you put something heavy on the sword button and put it on turbo so you just swing the button, every time you kill one, you get 2 points. So you just leave the game on with something heavy on the thing and you'd walk away and come back every hour or so and spend your experience points and then just max out Link's level.
It's like steroids for your video game player.
Exactly.
I think people do a similar thing in Valheim to level up too. They just attack rocks with weapons.
Oh, does that make your like weapon swing?
Yeah, so it doesn't like it it makes your weapon like do damage to where you have to repair it, but it helps you level up. Like you're not actually fighting an opponent. You could just set it and forget it.
Yeah.
And come back. Like, oh, okay. And I got to repair that again.
So the other things Nintendo announced is the sequel for Breath of the Wild's coming out next year.
Oh, so it's for sure announced now.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2?
They showed a little bit of that. Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be a lot of...
Breath of the Wild, then I'll play it.
Yeah, that's never happening. Nintendo never discounts their games.
That's the one thing Weirdbeard over at Checkpoint XP always complains about.
It's a huge bummer.
Yep.
You're going to have to pay full price, because I'd like to play that Link's Awakening remake that came out like a year ago, but it's always going to be $60 or more.
Yep. Is that the one where Link watches up on shore when you start out?
Yeah.
You watch it up on shore? Okay.
Yeah, because that was the Game Boy one. That's the one that's going to be on the Game & Watch.
I love playing The Legend of Zelda on the Game Boy in the summers. For some reason, I have so many fond summer memories of playing, like just enjoying the weather. I didn't have many friends. So if my one or two friends weren't around, it was pretty much just me at the house reading books or riding my bike around the neighborhood, hoping I'd see somebody from school that wasn't a total D-bag and we could do something.
And that's what we had to do before Snapchat was a thing.
Yeah, you know. But I have so many fond memories of playing different Legend of Zelda games on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
In the summer, like that's how I spent.
Did you play the what was it? There was two that went together.
There's one that had like a different color one, like you had a blue version, a red version.
Yeah, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Time, I think it was. Did you play those? Because I heard those are some of the best Zelda.
I think
games
all
ever.
of them on the Game Boy were great, but that could have just been naive James not really experiencing a ton of gaming stuff.
Right.
But anyway, sorry.
No,
back
not
to
at all. You actually
stuff.
Something came up in a podcast that I listened to pretty much on the regular. The fact that there has never been a bad first-party Mario game, and I'm starting to think that that's like Nintendo's bread and butter. Is that if they license their characters out to somebody else, then it could get a little dicey.
So was Mario Brothers 2?
Mario Brothers 2 was a
still
Nintendo
first
game.
party.
Yeah,
because I feel like that game gets slammed constantly by being a bad Mario Brothers game. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like it's somebody that none of them are universally hated.
Okay.
There's not a Mario game that is universally hated, but it makes me think: is there a video game franchise that you think like they can do no wrong? Like you've played multiple games of this franchise.
I don't think there is.
Every single one of them is like I love them. Because even you look at like the Final Fantasy franchise, and so
there's been some stinkers.
There is at least one Final Fantasy that everybody has played and hated.
Yeah.
I think every Final Fantasy I've played, I've hated.
Yeah.
It's all of them. 7, 1 through 4, whatever were on the SNES.
Yeah. You didn't like any of those?
Yeah, I think they're okay. I preferred Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
Like I played Secret of Mana first, and then like my friend was like, these are called RPGs. These are role-playing games, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's kind of like Zelda, but way cooler. You got more things. He's like, yeah, check out these Final Fantasy games. And I played one. I was like, I don't like it.
No.
Give me more Secret of Mana.
You need more action.
Yeah, a little bit. It's too much. I guess the turn-based stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, so the sequel to Breath of the Wild, the video that they showed yesterday, looks like it's going to be a lot of flying, which if you in Breath of the Wild, you get that little kite and you're flying around in it.
Oh, I was like, flying? So when does Link fly?
Kite Man, hell yeah.
Kite Man's taking over the episode.
I've been totally mesmerized by this video over here that's boot up to every game console ever, and they did include 3DO.
Hey!
There's my old buddy.
Nice.
Yeah, I just went on a nostalgia trip.
Yep.
I remember when walking into Funko Land and the guy taking my money and handing me the system.
Right.
Yeah, well, where's Funko Land now?
Now they're called GameStop.
Wow.
It explains, too, why they're re-releasing Skyward Sword. If the next Zelda is going to be a little bit more aerial-based.
I don't think I ever played Skyward Sword.
Yeah, Skyward Sword had a lot of, like, flying to it as well.
Okay, that's weird. I don't know if I like Link flying.
Right.
I'm cool with him riding a horse. I'm cool with him being whisked away by some sort of tornado when he plays a flute or whatever,
right?
But
I never played the GameCube one where he's the little kid on the boat.
The Wind Waker?
Yeah.
That's one of the first ones I never beat.
Really?
Yeah. I played it. I had good times playing it, but I think the girl I was dating at the time wasn't into video games, but I got her into playing like Mario Tennis, and I got her into playing Mario Kart Double Dash. So that became the focus. Those were the games that we would play.
Yeah.
And I never went back and finished it.
I never got through Majora's Mask.
I never even played Majora's Mask.
That was the second one on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I never even played that one. I think I was on to other things when that one came out.
They also announced a WarioWare for the Switch.
So I've never played WarioWare. Break it down. What's a Wario? Is it like a bunch of different little mini games that are Wario themed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like a party game.
I think so.
Like,
yeah.
Like a Mario Party, but with the villain.
A little bit like Mario Party without the game board part.
Okay.
Like literally just series of mini games.
Okay.
And all the mini games are Wario themed, so like they involve farts and boogers.
Oh,
and
perfect. Dude,
so
Wario Land was a fun game on the original Game Boy.
Yeah.
I played the hell out of Wario Land.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played a WarioWare because they were always on like the Wii U, and I think they were on the DS, and I didn't get a chance to play them. So, but I'm
used either of those two
just looking at the video. I'm like, well, me and Amy would have a blast playing a bunch of mini games. This will be great.
I'll have to keep that one on the list. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Subtle boner sound effect.
Speaking of mini games too, they're also doing Mario Party Superstars, which this is one of the very few games that I'm like, day one, I'm buying this.
Day one. Mario Party Superstars.
Yes,
Tell me more.
Well, Amy can to this day plays Mario Party. Like we've unlocked all the characters, but if she wants to play a game, she'll pick up the Switch and play Mario Party for a few hours, just by herself,
Like
just having a good
computer?
time. Yeah, just against the computer, and we'll play together, and we'll have a great time too. But that's her game.
Just wait for that boing.
Boring. Mario Party Superstars is a collection of the mini games from the Nintendo 64 Mario Parties.
Okay.
And then 5 of the most popular boards. So think of it almost like the way Mario Kart 8 is put together with some of the boards from all the previous Mario Karts.
Gotcha. That's cool. So it's just Mario Party.
Yep.
But it's the boards and mini games from past Mario Parties.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Mario Party greatest hits.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Ooh, I don't know what that was.
That was Kirby. That was old school Kirby.
Never played much Kirby.
I had one on the Game Boy that I used to play a lot.
Yeah. They announced the next Smash character is a dude from Tekken.
Okay.
So I'm not a huge Tekken fan. It's Kazuya Mishima. So
I couldn't tell you what he even looks like.
All right, whatever. That's cool. Super Monkey Ball's coming back.
Super Monkey Ball?
Yeah.
I remember making fun of my friend for playing this on the PlayStation. I think he played this on the PS1. We were like, dude, why are you playing Super Monkey Ball? What are you? He's like, he's running around with like a bug catching net or something.
Right.
Was he catching monkeys? I don't remember what he's doing. But we're like, hey, let's go.
Oh, no, that was Ape Escape on the PlayStation.
That was Ape Escape. Okay, my bad. I guess I got my Monkey Ball and Ape Escape
You got your monkey games confused.
So I'm like, hey, let's go. We're going. Are you ready to go to this party? We're going to try to talk to babes. He's like, oh, I'm playing this Ape Escape game.
I got to catch these monkeys.
Yeah, I got my bug catching net flying around.
The last couple of times me and Amy have gone to Costco, they've got those big TVs right when you walk in. They're always playing some kind of Animal Planet show with monkeys on it.
Oh, really?
Every time I see monkeys, I'm like, hey, monkeys.
And now you guys are like, you want to go to Costco and look at the monkeys?
Look at the monkeys.
Yeah. Less poop being thrown at you there.
Yeah. The last thing that Nintendo announced
by a monkey.
Pretty cool is the return of a 2D Metroid game. It's called Metroid Dread.
A 2D Metroid game?
Yep.
As opposed to
a side-scrolling Metroid game. Like
so it's going to be just like the OG Metroid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, the graphics will be 3D based, but the gameplay will be all 2D like the original
fun.
Metroid.
So it's more like a platformer type style. Yep. I might play that. I never were you into any of the Metroid games?
I played the Super Nintendo one is really good.
Okay.
I played a couple on the Game Boy.
Are those on the Switch with the?
Yes,
okay.
Super Metroid is on there, and the original Metroid is brutally hard.
I think that's probably why I never played it. I know my friend had it. My friend had all the games.
They remade it for the Game Boy Advance, and it was way better.
Okay.
Because they remade it with like the new technology. That's graphically cooler. They were much less difficult on you. You had save points in it because the original Metroid didn't have save points. You just died, and you got a
code.
27 letter and number code you had to write down that you'd always get one wrong, and then
just
it
like
wouldn't
punch
do
out.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, when you get the code. Do they have one of those for the 64?
Metroid?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have they ever been a 3D Metroid? Okay.
Yeah, on the GameCube they did a couple 3D Metroids. I played one of them. And I was like, this is all right. But
Metroid Prime, is that what I'm thinking of?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All these weird Nintendo memories are flooded into my mind right now.
I guess they're working on a sequel to Metroid Prime, but in the meantime, they're like, here's a 2D Metroid called Metroid Dread.
Cool. I might look into that too. So it seems like some pretty big announcements from
Nintendo crushed
the Nintendo side.
Yeah, Nintendo crushed it. Everybody else was a little lackluster, but Nintendo was great. Like Capcom, all that they announced is that there will be downloadable content for Resident Evil Village.
Cool.
And they've got some multiplayer thing called Resident Evil Reverse that's supposed to launch next month.
Oh, well, that's kind of interesting. A Resident Evil like multiplayer.
Yeah, they did that before on like the PlayStation 2 before we had.
Before the internet stuff was so big. Yeah, I accidentally bought that game. I mean, I can't even play it. I can't connect to the internet. I just spent $50 on a game I can't play, and I had to sell it on eBay.
Yep.
And lost like $20 on the deal.
Xbox revealed a whole bunch of games, one of which is Halo Infinite is on the way, and they're going to be doing a multiplayer beta near the end of the summer. There's also a game called Back 4 Blood.
Oh, yeah. I know all about Back 4 Blood. That is right there for me, instant buy. Day one, it's pre-ordered. I'm ready for August 5th, the open beta or whatever. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to hop into the Left 4 Dead universe.
I was going to say, I take it you loved Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, it broke my heart because there was a girl I was seeing for a short while, and she was just getting a little too serious. Like, hey, let's move in.
I remember
all
the
this stuff.
story.
And I ghosted her. So I ghosted her, but I forgot that I had left 4 Dead 2 at her place.
Yeah.
So that game was gone forever. I can't wait to get back into the Left 4 Dead universe now after ghosting that chick.
They're doing a new Battlefield 2042.
Interesting.
Going to be coming out, so that implies that it's going to be. I read about this game 12 Minutes that's coming out. That's like it's this couple that's caught in a time loop, and you play the husband, and like somebody comes in and robs them, and then inevitably shoots him, and then he wakes up 12 minutes previous, and you have to figure out how to change the timeline so that bad things don't happen. But it's James McAvoy, the guy who played Professor Xavier in the most recent. He's the husband. What's the name?
Like he's the voice actor, or is the character depicted?
I think they
from
motion
him?
captured them.
Okay.
So that they would.
He's also the guy from the most recent M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Yes.
Who plays the guy with all those personalities.
Yep. But James McAvoy is the lead. Daisy Ridley is the wife.
Okay.
And I can't. Willem Dafoe plays the guy who breaks in the house.
Really?
Yeah.
So wait. So how long is the game going to last? You wake up. You got 12 minutes to stop the murder from happening.
Right. But it's obviously.
Does it change every time you stop the murder?
Yeah, like something.
Like that secret. There's like a secret neighbor game where you're like spying on your neighbor. Like your neighbor's doing up to no good, and you have to like find proof that he's got like a body in there. And if he finds it, he kicks you out. And then, like, whatever path you took to try to find this clue changes every single time. I wonder if it's going to be like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember reading about it, and just the fact that they have that cast, even if they're just voice acting, I was like, dang, I want to see that game. That sounds amazing. They're also, what else I got here? Psychonauts 2 is coming to the Xbox. A couple of games that weren't available on Xbox are coming, like Among Us and Hades.
Oh, you're going to play Among Us on the Xbox then?
Yeah.
Will it be cross-platform? You can play with people on PC and stuff?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, Hades is coming August 13th to the Xbox game series. There's some updates to Fallout 76. And the real thing that I took away from Xbox's thing is how many of these games are playable the day they come out if you have...
On Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Yeah, dude. Game Pass is
like
a powerhouse
As
now.
much as Al and I are super into the PlayStation Plus, Game Pass seems like such a great investment. Except for the fact that if you don't have the time to play as much games as you want, then you're never going to...
Yeah. But if you look at it this way, it's like $10 a month, right? So you buy one game, you've just paid for 6 months of Game Pass.
Right.
Is how I would look at it. So if you play one game a year, sign up for Game Pass for 6 months.
Right.
You might find a game that you like, and then you can go buy that game, and you know that you always would want to play it.
Right. Sounds a lot like the PlayStation Now service that you had.
That's what I was just thinking, because I got that for my nephew to come over, and it's hundreds of games from to choose from, and it was, I think, it used to be $100 for the year, and I think they actually dropped the price.
Really?
I think it was like $60 or $70 for the whole year. But same thing, for the price of one single game, I've got a bunch at my fingertips.
Yeah.
The downside being, of course, you have no control over what they put up there and when they take it down.
Yeah.
I think before I ended up purchasing the Spider-Man game, it had gone up there, and I was like, oh, I remember Chuck loving this game. I can finally play it.
Yeah.
And I even downloaded it to my console, and then when I went back later, it was locked. Because they had taken it down already.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point?
This is not the Miles Morales version, right? That's the
No, this is the one that you got for free.
I'm too anxious. Okay.
The one that you got for free after I spent money on it.
I got it for free. It was pretty sweet. I've gotten a few games that Al spent money on for free. Final Fantasy VII was one of them.
Square Enix had a bunch of E3 stuff that they announced. People were not pleased about most of it. They showed us...
I feel like nobody's ever pleased with the gaming announcements.
No, it doesn't. It definitely seems that way.
The gaming community as a whole, I think, is a tough crowd to please.
I was thinking while the weekend was going on and stuff was getting announced at E3 that it's like nothing. There's not been any huge like everybody is universally, oh my god, I can't wait to play this. About there's everything is something is like some people are like, oh, that's fun, and other people are like, ugh, whatever. But they announced a game called Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, which is taking the storyline of the very first Final Fantasy on the NES and turning it into like a Devil May Cry kind of hack and slash game.
Okay.
In 3D. They're also reissuing the first 6 Final Fantasies on like the PC and the phone.
Oh, wow. That sounds like something L will spend some money on and never play.
They showed the Black Panther expansion for Marvel's Avengers. It looks like Claw will be the villain in that.
Oh, okay. So they're going to have an expansion for the Avengers. It's not going to be a separate standalone Black Panther game.
Nope.
Okay, very cool.
And that's going to be part of it. Plus, there's an event coming at the end of the month or next month that involves the Cosmic Cube.
Oh.
They didn't give a whole lot of thing. And they released the trailer for the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Looks interesting.
They're putting together.
I think they did. It looks like it'll be pretty cool. I was worried that they just took the Avengers game and skinned it with Guardians of the Galaxy characters.
Right.
But I was told that that's not, in fact, what they did.
You only play Star-Lord. You don't get to, it's not like a team game like Avengers where you get to play everybody. You play as Star-Lord, and then you have to like make decisions amongst the group that, will piss off Rocket, but make Gamora like you more or something like that. You have to manage the group
that's funny.
So they don't break up or try and murder you.
You got to keep the band together.
Yeah,
You're like
exactly.
the band manager for Guardians of the Galaxy, but you also got to kick ass. I'd be interested to see what enemies and what villains they put you up against in that video game because I don't know much about it.
Yeah,
about their whole universe.
Even as a Marvel fan, Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely a blind spot where like when the dog in the astronaut costume shows up, I'm like, oh okay, I've heard of him, cool. But when a villain shows up, I'm like, I don't know who this is at all.
Yeah.
This isn't Thanos, so I don't know who this is at all. I feel like they were developing this game while, like, when Marvel's Avengers came out, they were already working on this game, and they're like, yeah, Avengers is going to be huge, and we're going to do all these Marvel games, and it's going to be great. And then Avengers kind of flopped.
Didn't do what they expected it to do.
Well, we can't just stop. I guess we might as well finish this one.
Yeah, we've already spent this much money. I guess we got to finish it up, and hopefully we'll make some of that cash back.
Yeah. And then on Friday is when they had what they called Summer Games Fest, and they announced a Borderlands spinoff.
Yes, this looks awesome.
Yeah, it's
Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yep.
Oh man, I don't know much about the character, but the trailers got me sold. That's another day one that I'm like, yes.
It looks like
my cash.
It looks like a full-on game based on the Tiny Tina downloadable content from the second Borderlands game, where she just talked the group into playing Dungeons and Dragons. So it was all fantasy based, and that's what this looks like.
And I love it.
Full-on fantasy-based Borderlands game.
You got the Borderlands artwork. You got the Borderlands aesthetic. Dragons, magic, and machine guns.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, that's how I want to fight a dragon, with the big ass machine gun. Not with a sword and a shield and a couple magic spells.
Yep.
I want to really give that dragon both barrels. Maybe all 4 barrels.
Are you guys familiar with the Metal Slug series at all?
Yes.
They're making a Metal Slug Tactics game.
Tactics?
Yeah, Metal Slug is typically just left to right, running across, shooting everything in sight. It's like Contra. It's like cartoony Contra. Yeah, this will be like a 3/4 view tactics game where you move people across the board and fire at each other. But it has the same cartoony look to it.
Ah, I wonder how that'll do.
And they're making a director's cut of Death Stranding.
Oh my God, more abs.
I'm gonna have to play Death Stranding all over again to see new content.
Got to build a whole new highway. Got to build a new Chuck Bean Memorial Highway.
Yep. But I'm gonna do it because I really enjoyed Death Stranding.
More of Norris, not Norris. What's his name?
Why
did my
Norman Reedus?
Norman Reedus. Yes.
You put them together.
Why? Yeah. Norman Reedus abs. Never mind. Forget I even brought it. Feel free to edit that out.
You want me to edit that?
I'll stop the music so you can edit that part out.
All right. Cool. They're also making a.
I'm sorry, James. What was that you wanted me to do?
They're making a battle royale game based on Vampire the Masquerade, the tabletop game.
Really?
I'm gonna be interested in that. I'm gonna be playing that.
Wasn't this supposed to be like a Vampire the Masquerade game that was supposed to be out like years ago?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they turned it into a battle royal.
Yeah, well, it's not that game. They're still working on that game.
Okay.
But they're also making a battle royale game where like you're playing opposing groups of vampires.
So I wonder
shooting each other in the city with the vampire powers.
I was gonna say, would it be like humans versus vampires, and the vampires, once you kill the human, turn them into vampires, and they're part of the vampire squad, then hunting down the rest of the humans.
But during the Xbox announcements, they did announce a game that is essentially that.
Really?
It's humans versus vampires.
You're kidding.
Yep. I can't remember what it was called.
I'm a genius.
Seen it.
If only I would have had this idea about 10 years ago and I had a lot of money backing up my video game development firm.
I also saw there's like a Fall Guys game that's just like furries.
Furry guys?
Furry guys. Just furry
guys.
Fall Guys.
I think there's also some pornos by that name.
More than likely. More than likely. Don't look up furry guys.
There's probably like furry friends with benefits.
But that's everything I got from E3.
That's it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Some good stuff. I'm excited for some of the new games.
There's a bunch of stuff, but like I said, there's only a handful of things I'm like, okay, I need to have that like the day it comes out.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo's going to get a majority of my cash.
Yeah, same here.
But Left 4 Dead, the Back 4 Blood, and the Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yeah.
You got my money day one.
I still need to. Amy got me Borderlands 3. Not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, and I still haven't finished it.
Really?
I need to.
At least you played it. You can put some time into it. Because I'll have games given to me that I'm like, I put it in once, and I gave up in the middle of the tutorial.
Yeah, that's the problem with
That's okay. I've bought games that I haven't even put in.
That's the problem with seeing all these, like when E3 rolls around, all it does is remind me of the stack of games I have not finished.
Yeah, all the time that you don't have available to play these games.
Right. All right, well, let's take a break and we'll come back. I've got a couple more news stories for you, and I don't remember which ones they are, so I don't have any teaser. We're just going to talk about something.
Perfect.
There's going to be more Nerd Radio. That's all I can.
Sweet.
That's all I know for sure.